Hey everybody, it is day 19 of the 31 Days of Tarot, and today's topic is to share which tarot deck out there gives you the heebie-jeebies. The one deck that comes to mind because it's a very popular deck that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole, and that's just me, is the Deviant Moon Tarot. It just creeps me out. There's so much imagery in there that just would give me nightmares. I wouldn't touch it. I could not. There's no way I could use that deck. That's just me. I don't know. I want to understand the appeal. I get that everybody's different, and that's great that there's variety out there, I guess, but Deviant Moon Tarot just creeps the shit out of me. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't know if there are others, like that's just the one that really stands out. It's funny that people have different ideas of what is considered dark and creepy. I know there's decks or imagery that I really, really love that I've been told by other people, oh, it's too dark for me. I would never use that deck or like that kind of imagery. It's, for example, probably like, this one, for example, there are people I know that would say that's too creepy, it's too dark for me, and that's fine, but it doesn't bother me at all. That I haven't crossed that threshold into creepiness or like heebie-jeebies yet. I'm totally comfortable with that kind of darkness. I know another person once told me that the Oracle of the Dragon Fae was too dark, that it just turned them off. It was too dark, which it would be definitely not a deck that is too dark for me. I really enjoy the Oracle of Shadows and Light. It does have an element of darkness, or there's some themes of death in there and some shadows, but I find the imagery quite beautiful and tasteful, not creepy. And so those decks are okay, but they're not for everyone. I've been told that they're just too dark for some people, but that's not where my threshold is at. I would say, like, if I was going to point out a threshold mark of creepiness, it would be my Necronomicon Tarot. I don't know how I feel. I want to like this deck, but I think it either stands on the line or just tips over to that horror factor that I just can't get on board with. I am not a fan of horror at all. I don't like scary movies. I don't watch them. I have tried. I go into an emotional shutdown, breakdown. There are movies I have never got through, and some of them, if I was to list the ones that I went into hysterics over, people would laugh at me. People would laugh. I don't do fear. I don't do scariness. There are like psychological thrillers are okay, like ones that are kind of mind game kind of movies, like I loved The Game, Fight Club, stuff like that. It's like, that's okay. That's not horror. That's thriller, and that's okay. I don't mind ghosts. Ghosts are okay as long as they're not like terrorizing people. That crosses the threshold for me. But here's some of the cards from the Necronomicon Tarot that just freak me out. So here's the Death card, and it's got like this guy tied up with a skeleton face, and his neck is bleeding, and there's some creepy little toad monster watching him. And this is the Fool card, and he's just grotesque. Like, he's like sitting in a pool of like slime, and he's just, I don't know, he's got like wounds and festering skin, and he's playing this music which kind of, you think, well, there's some kind of beauty in that, in sort of the tune or that's coming out of his flute there, but if you look closely, the figures that are dancing are all missing limbs. There's like some without heads or arms or legs, so I don't know, it's pretty creepy. And here's the Strength card, with this tentacly blob thing. I don't know. This one really freaks me out. This, like, look at this Empress card. she's got like devil horns and goat legs, and she's coming through this like, it looks like female genitalia. She's bursting through with this skull in her hand and a noose in the other, and she's got this army of little devil babies. Like, it is, I don't know, that is not my taste. I know for some people just love this stuff. So there are enough cards in that deck that I have just decided to put it away because I want to like it. I just find it a little too creepy for my taste. That's just me. So I've decided for now I'm not using that deck anymore. I guess I'm not as big of a Lovecraftian fan as, and when I say that, I love the Lovecraftian Cthulhu kind of themed board games. When it comes to board games, I find actually a lot of horror games are actually some of my favorite. I don't know why. It's not the content, like it's not the subject matter. It's just the gameplay is really, really cool. And so I like it. And it's not kind of in your face, like terrorizing you or some character. So I guess that's why I can tolerate it a bit better. But when it comes to like movies or television or books, I don't touch that stuff. No. It's not for me. I literally go into petrified hysterics. Like, you would want to take me to a hospital. I'd be inconsolable. So I just stay away from it now. And I was going through, I brought up a list from Aeclectic Tarot, and they have a list on there they've categorized as dark and gothic decks. And there are some pretty freaking creepy decks. There's some on this list that are completely fine. I'm going to go through it right now and just sort of point out ones that just gave me the absolute creeps and heebie-jeebies for sure. Okay, that one didn't show me any pictures. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so I'm looking right now at the Alchemical Wedding Tarot. Nope, wouldn't use it. That is a little too creepy for me. I won't go through every one of them, but yeah, they're definitely... See, Anne Stokes, I love Anne Stokes. So she is known for her kind of gothic artwork. She does a lot of dragons and fairies, a lot of angels and kind of like, dark stone rooms, and I think they're beautiful. Personally, I love her artwork, all of it, but I know others have just said it's too much in the shadow world, in the dark side of things, and they're much happier with a more kind of angelic, happy, uplifting decks or imagery. So the Gothic Tarot, I would absolutely use it. Legends Tarot, no problem. Like, a lot of these I haven't even heard of. Let's see. Cornel Edema Tarot. It's okay. It's not my taste though. Dark Carnival Tarot. See, I like carnivals. Nope. See, that one is a little too creepy for me. Definitely a dark carnival theme. Oh, Dark Fairy Tale. Let's take a look at this one. Dark Fairy Tale, I don't have a problem with those images. They're okay. I'm kind of neutral. It's not a deck that I would want to own, but it's not one that would make me feel uncomfortable. Like the Zombie Tarot, I think is hilarious. As a person who is not fond of zombies, like I said, I don't do horror, so zombies are usually out just right off the bat. But I think that deck is got a good sense of humor with this sort of vintagey feel. I have the Housewives Tarot. and I love it. I think it's just hilarious, and so the Zombie Tarot is one I actually want that in my collection. Tarot of the Vampires by Ian Daniels. I love his artwork. I think it's very tasteful. I think I could use that card with no problem. Ooh, Surrealist Tarot. This one looks creepy. It is. Yep, that crosses the threshold of creep factor for me. That is a deck I would not use. So I think that kind of gives you maybe an overview of my taste. I think dark and themes of death are totally fine as long as they're done tastefully. I mean, what is tasteful? I guess that's all subjective, but when it crosses into like creepy horror where you have like monsters, when you have imagery of murders and terrorizing people or torturing people, that I can't get on board with that. I just can't. And that's just me. And Deviant Moon, for a very popular deck, is just one of those ones that I cringe every time I see it. And I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anyone. I want to respect different people's tastes, but that is just how I feel about that deck. Anyway, I'm going to end there, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 20. Holy smokes, we're already in the 20s. Okay, till then, stay shiny and keep sparkling. Ciao.